Back at it on a Monday. There's something about Mondays. You just can't trust that day. I don't know why. We don't mind Mondays around here. It's not a bad gig. It is the 12th day of November 2018. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your week with us here on the NCW Live channel. A lot of people aren't starting their week today. A lot of people are starting their week tomorrow because it's Veterans Day observed here all over this country of ours. Of course, Veterans Day proper was yesterday, and we do have some footage, both a brief snippet and then some extended footage of yesterday morning's Veterans Day parade in downtown Wenatchee. That'll come up when we get to news and during the feature segment of this program. But as far as observing Veterans Day for schools, for governmental offices, for banks, whatever the case may be, that is today. So all the governmental offices, federal, state, local, they're all closed today. No banking today. You won't get any mail in your mailbox today. I don't get any anyway. There's no school going on either. So for a lot of folks, they're sleeping in. For those folks who decided not to sleep in, thanks for starting your day with us here. Great show for today. Lots of sports highlights to get to. Very good weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. Seahawks went down to the wire with the Rams, but came up short. We'll also have highlights of Eastmont's loss to Puyallup on Friday night in the state football championships. We got that to get through as well. The obscure holiday birthdays today in history, and everybody is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion on a cold, chilly, overcast, cloudy, foggy Monday. In fact, yesterday was a very strange day. We had sunshine for the Veterans Day parade, but it never got above freezing. Our high yesterday was only 32 degrees. That was it. Our normal was 46. We had some cold air come in on Saturday night. Then we had that freezing fog, which is what we're dealing with right now. And it took a little while for it to burn off, and then the sun could never quite get established. But 32 and 25 are high and low yesterday. Not a big temperature variation, quite chilly. We're going to warm up rather dramatically, as a matter of fact, as the week goes on. Forecast details are coming up. Let's take care on North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. Our Valley View camera proper, the cross camera that we begin with, completely fogged over. There's absolutely nothing to see, so it seems silly to show it. So we're not. We'll start out with the roof of the Cascadian looking North Wenatchee Avenue through downtown with the Coast Hotel there to your right. As you can see, very light traffic here on this Monday morning. Again, a lot of people are not working today, and the people who are working aren't going to work real hard. That's going to be my guess. So pretty light commute here on this Monday morning. That's some beautiful downtown Wenatchee. Now, again, because of the clouds and the fog, we have a limited amount of cameras to choose from, but I'm sure Kat has done yeoman's work, and she has. That is, I don't know, I want to say Billy Goat maybe or something. That's Jump Off Ridge, so that's a perfect example. Somewhere down there is the Wenatchee Valley. Trust me on that. You can see that the fog level is just right about the level of the cross camera that we use every day. Cross camera's on your left, but of course you can't really see it. And yes, the valley is down there. Eventually, we'll have, well, partly sunny skies. The clouds and the fog will burn off about 11 or noon today, and the sun will be coming up, and we'll only get up to about 40 degrees, which is still well below normal, but it's going to be nicer, certainly temperature-wise, than it was yesterday. Camera number 3 is a shot up in the Lake Wenatchee area, I want to say. Looking up the White River Valley, we call that the Two Rivers camera. That camera is on top of a tower that's about 300 feet in elevation. I actually went up there one time with our Sky-Fi friends as they were building that tower. That tower is way up there, and that's a beautiful shot of the White River Valley, looking up into the northern Cascades. Great shot there. If we turn that camera around 180 degrees, of course, you would see Lake Wenatchee, which my guess is probably fogged over on this Monday morning. And finally, camera 4. Well, there's Billy Goat. That I recognize absolutely. There's another example of the low clouds and fog, but the sun is starting to pop on up. Mount Kalispell, that little bump in the top middle of your screen is visible. You can see Pateros a little bit, can't see Brewster at all, but as I mentioned, this will eventually burn off. It's going to take its sweet time, but it will happen, and then we'll see sunshine for the most part today. And all in all, it's pretty quiet week, pretty benign week from the weather department. Not a lot of rain, certainly no snow in the forecast. The passes look good. In fact, from the National Weather Service, let's take a look at your forecast on this Monday. There you go. Some fog this morning, about 11:30. It will be burning off. We'll have some sunshine this afternoon. We'll call it partly sunny anyway. High of about 39, no real wind to speak of. The fog returns tonight in the overnight hours. Outside of the fog, we'll have partly cloudy skies, 31 for the overnight low. Fog will burn off a little quicker tomorrow. The fog will be burning off at mid-morning as opposed to late morning, and then we'll warm up to about 47 degrees and a partly cloudy skies on Tuesday. Tuesday night, back to the clouds and the fog. I'm detecting a pattern here. Overnight low of about 32, and then things change rather dramatically. We have a slight chance of some light rain, especially Wednesday afternoon. Lots of clouds Wednesday, no sunshine, but considerably warmer as some warm air is going to come in. So we're going to go from 32 yesterday to 53 on Wednesday. That's quite a temperature swing. And then we go into some nice weather. Mostly sunny Thursday and a high of 51. Mostly sunny Friday, 49. Sunny Saturday, 44. Those temperatures are about normal. So all in all this week, pretty quiet weather. All things considered. Quick heads up. Sunrise today, 7:01, so it just happened. Sunset tonight, 4:28. Sunrise tomorrow, 7:03. Sunset tomorrow, 4:27. So we lose about 2.5 minutes of daylight a day here in north central Washington as we get closer and closer to winter. It's coming. 5.5 minutes after the hour. Let's take a look at your passes real quick. Not a lot to talk about there. Things pretty quiet. No advisories, no restrictions across the board. I-90 is looking good. Roadway is bare and dry. No problems at all. Stevens is looking good. They had they had some unscheduled, or at least unforecast, light snow in the mountain passes. That dissipated rather rapidly. That happened over the weekend. No advisories, no restrictions on US 2 Stevens. Blue Pass is fine. No advisories, no restrictions with clear skies up above. Forecast for the mountain passes calls for some precipitation Tuesday night and Wednesday, but it may fall down in the form of rain and not snow. We could see a rain-snow mix at the very summit of Stevens Pass. Again, I'm talking Tuesday night into Wednesday. Outside of that, and the mountain passes should be dry for most of this week. In fact, because of the low clouds and fog in many cases, the mountain passes will have warmer afternoon high temperatures than here on the valley floor. It is cold right now. Let's take you around the valley. Freezing fog outside of our studios, 27 degrees. Afraida's at 19. That's chilly. Cashmere here, 28 degrees. Everybody's got some fairly foggy, cloudy conditions. Cheyenne's at 28, Manson's at 26. So there you go. Happy Monday. It is 7 minutes after the hour. We have the news in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. JP Portrait Studio is offering holiday family mini sessions at the Wells House this Wednesday through Saturday. Get your family portraits taken in this beautifully restored historic home. Little Black Dress Party is this Friday from 7:30 to 11 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Come dance, win prizes, shop, get your photo taken, and more. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And not surprisingly, I'm not Steve Hare, but I'm working at it. 8 minutes after the hour, let's take a look at what happened news on this Monday morning. Wenatchee honored its military veterans yesterday with a colorful parade and ceremony downtown at Memorial Park. The parade featured numerous veterans groups who marched and then assembled at the park at 11 a.m. yesterday morning, the designated time and date that the armistice that was signed to end World War I. Our very own Megan McPherson was there for the festivities yesterday. We have about a 6.5 minute montage of yesterday's ceremonies that we're going to show for you in the back half of the hour. Sunday's Veterans Day ceremony and parade sponsored by the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, vets serving vets of North Central Washington. Well, Bob Boogert took the lead in the latest count for Chelan County Commissioner. He pulled ahead now of opponent Sean Smith by 160 votes. After the second release of results Friday afternoon, Boogert, who did not designate a party, has 13,525 votes. Republicans Sean Smith, 13,365 votes. Percentage, it breaks down to 50.3% to 49.7%. The race, of course, remains too close to call. There are 4,605 ballots left to count. The results of that count will be released on Wednesday. Smith had led by 314 votes, 9,830 to Boogert's 9,516 after Tuesday's election night count. Boogert, of course, is the former executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Smith is the owner of the Walkabout Grill restaurants in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. None of the other races, by the way, in Chelan County were close enough for Friday's latest count to change the results. All the newest numbers, of course, can be seen on the Chelan County Auditor's website. Well, retired Douglas County Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl takes issue with a politically charged poster that was reportedly taped by a student on a wall at Eastmont High School. Jesdahl shared a photo of the poster in his personal Facebook page and commented that it was inappropriate. The subject of the poster refers to the Voting Rights Act and features a caricature of President Donald Trump commenting on the 15th Amendment and a caption that says, "Everyone has a right to vote regardless of race, color, or whether they had been slaves." The Trump character is quoted as saying, "Except him, trash can't vote." Eastmont Superintendent Garn Christensen said the poster was removed after Jesdahl contacted him with his concerns.
You know, whenever we have comments that come about that may be favorable or not so favorable towards whether it's a community leader or a state leader or a national leader, we always have to go cautiously. Freedom of speech is an important part of our country as Americans and as public entities. We, as public employees, we're not to bring that into the workplace, and we adhere to that very strictly and always counsel teachers and anyone else that they need to be neutral when they're in instructional time and with students. Yet at the same time, students have that same freedom of speech, and they regularly like to exercise it at all levels. So in those cases, we have to take them on a case-by-case basis and evaluate, and there's always that check. Is this a hate-type speech, or is it merely somebody sharing an opinion? And so that's the process we're in right now. We would always hope that our students would act in a respectful manner to all people and leaders, and I would always encourage young people, if they do want to be involved and share political opinions that may be more favorable or less favorable, that one of the best ways you can do that is actually get out and make sure you vote, as well as get involved with your local political group that you would affiliate with and find might support your beliefs. And one thing that we do feel important is seeing our young people be involved, and we love to see our young people when they turn 18 vote. But at the same time, we also feel like I agree with Mr. Jesdahl that we need to make sure that young people learn how to do that in a civil way and with respect.
Christensen said he was still in the process of determining if the poster was part of a classroom project or an isolated incident. He says there are no immediate plans for any disciplinary action. Speaking of schools, about 47 people showed up at a forum Thursday to learn more about Wenatchee's planned charter school. That school, Columbia Prep, is expected to open their doors in 2021. Board member Sarah Rolfs said it was the first of many forums the newly appointed Columbia Prep School Board will hold to get ideas and give information on how Wenatchee's first charter school would work.
To begin with, we put them to work asking them what they thought that our local schools were doing really well, and then where they'd like to see improvement. And then we opened up for Q&A, and mostly it's just clarification on how the charter law works. You know, like how do you determine who gets to go, and what's the focus if there's a target population. You know, not during the Q&A session, we had a couple of community members that spoke up and more making a comment, bringing concerns to the table, which we want to hear. What are people's concerns? And most of what we've gotten so far is not unexpected to us. You know, Rick and I actually have wrestled quite a bit with whether to go the charter route because we know that there's contention surrounding it. But by and large, when we have the conversation, you know, we had a couple of Wenatchee School District school administrators there last night, and they approached us afterwards and said, really, thanked us and said, this really clarifies a lot of what you guys are trying to do. And so I think just getting the word out when people realize that we're not trying to be antagonistic, we're not wagging our finger, we're trying to be helpful. We're like, okay, so, we hear that there's overcrowding problems at the high school, and we see that people are struggling, teachers and administrators are really working hard to try and address the needs, but when you have schools the size that we do, it just becomes difficult to be able to do that. There's enough, I guess I would say that our school populations are large enough that it warrants taking a look at providing another smaller school option that will set up some populations to be more successful.
More school-related news on this Monday morning. Mission View Elementary will celebrate its new playground tomorrow, which has literally risen from the ashes. The school's playground equipment was destroyed last spring in an arson fire set by a group of teenagers at 10 a.m. A ribbon cutting and dedication ceremony is planned by the Wenatchee School District for the new equipment, which was recently installed with the help of the Mission View PTO, community partners, and donors. Of course, the public is welcome to attend. Even more school news today. Students seeking college financial aid will want to take advantage of a free workshop tomorrow at Wenatchee Valley College. Erin Tofty-Nordvik is organizing the event. She is the Associate Dean of Campus Life, Equity, and Inclusion. She says the November 13th event will provide information on all types of student loans and grants.
This is an annual event that we've been holding at least for 5 years, but I think even longer than that. And so we invite families and students, future college students, to come to Wenatchee Valley College, and it's held in Wenatchee Hall in our computer lab. So you actually at that time can fill out either the FAFSA or the WASFA to apply for either state financial aid or federal financial aid, and we will have people there to help with that. It's in Wenatchee Hall from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Of course, you probably can empathize with some of the college graduates who are still struggling to pay off student debt. What are we talking about in terms of the average debt that, let's say, a student would be burdened with?
I think it really depends on what kind of education you seek. So for myself, I went all the way. I actually have my law degree, and so we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. I think depending on how far you go, it can range anywhere from a couple $1,000s in debt to, like I said, hundreds of thousands.
But there are other ways of getting student financing that doesn't put you in that situation.
Correct, yes. So they're actually at the college, we have foundation scholarships, which is one wonderful way to help pay for college. And then there's federal help, and there, luckily in Washington State, there's also the Washington State Need Grant, which is help for Washington State students as well, especially those who do not have documentation.
So let's talk about that for a minute, and what kinds of grants are available.
Yeah, so for the federal financial aid, there's a few different types, and let me just look at my notes. There are Pell Grants, Stafford loans, federal Perkins loans, and then also federal work-study programs.
Okay.
And then for Washington State, we have the Washington State Need Grant and the College Bound Scholarship.
Now, each of these grants has probably, different criteria for qualifying students, huh?
Correct, yes. Many of them are financial need-based.
Financial needs.
Mm-hmm. And then, for example, a lot of our foundation scholarships, it depends on what you're interested in studying or your family background or your background, and there's different qualifications for every scholarship.
Tofty-Nordvik says students will get help filling out their free application for federal and state financial aid. Students need to bring with them either their own or their parents' 2017 tax returns and W-2 statements. It is tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock at the computer lab at Wenatchee Hall on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. 19 minutes after the hour, freezing fog, 27 degrees. It will burn off eventually. We'll warm up to the upper 30s, considerably warmer than yesterday's very cold 32, which was all we got to on Veterans Day Sunday. So we're for a pretty nice stretch of weather this week. We just have to get through the fogs and the clouds. If you want to be a part of our news team, well, you don't get paid. Don't say that straight out. But if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, get a hold of us. There are any number of ways to do it. You can go to our website at ncwlife.com. And in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you can click on the Contact Us icon. And then you have two options: submit a news tip or just contact us or drop us a little note. You can also email us, news@ncwlife.com. You can also pick up the telephone and give us a call at the number that you see at the bottom of your screen, or you can go to our Facebook page and private message us. We try to make it as easy as possible for you to get a hold of us if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention. Don't forget the news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on TV, available on demand on our website at ncwlife.com, late in the afternoon, early in the evening. Same deal with our Facebook page. So it doesn't matter how you choose to consume your local television news. You can do it any way you want to, either on your tablet, on your smartphone, on your computer, or on your television. Just, be sure to tune in and find out what the heck happened on this Monday. We'll all find out together, I have a feeling. 20 minutes after the hour, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays, everybody is entitled to Mike McKnight's opinion. And then we have a video montage to show you of yesterday's Veterans Day ceremony at Memorial Park in downtown Wenatchee. Still coming between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? Catch the evening news weeknights on TV, online, or Facebook. If local sports is your thing, tune in to High School Sports and the Wenatchee Wild each week. Looking for local stories, people, and events? NCW Life has you covered with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on weekday mornings, or enjoy a variety of local programming throughout the day. See NCW Life on Local Tel Channel 12 or Charter 19. Stream it live or watch it on demand at ncwlife.com. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight on the community we call home.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
It's Monday. What do you do? Let's do sports. So maybe I should do and now it's time for sports. There you go. Seahawks dropped a hard-fought loss in LA to the Rams yesterday afternoon, the final 36-31. The big play came with 6 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. Seattle was down 29-24. Russell Wilson stripped sacked by the Rams at the Seahawks 9-yard line. LA scored in the very next play. That made it 36-24. But the Seahawks scored on their next possession. That made it 36-31. The defense gave Seattle the ball back with 90 seconds left to play, but Wilson's fourth down throw at the Rams' 35-yard line, incomplete with 18 seconds remaining. Seattle falls to 4-5 in the season. LA improves to 9-1. The Seahawks lost despite rushing for 273 yards. They got a career day out of rookie Rashard Penny. He's good. He carried the ball 12 times for 108 yards and a touchdown. Coach Pete Carroll excited about the game despite the loss.
I really loved that football game today. It was hard, it was tough. You're ahead, you're behind, you're battling, you catch up, you go ahead again. You just keep fighting. And we make a big mistake. We give up the ball, and it was a great sack by their guy. Turn the game around right there with the turnover right after that and score. But that just incited our guys even more. And that kind of fighting, that kind of battling, will take you a long ways. We don't care where we go or who we're playing; they don't matter. We're going to go and we're going to battle.
Short turnaround for the Seahawks. They turn right around and play Thursday night. At least it's a home game. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers coming to town. Thursday Night Football, 5:20 on Fox. Saturday was a good day to be a Coug, wasn't it? Washington State's Gardner Minshew threw for 335 yards, a couple of touchdowns, ran for another. Cougars, no real problems against Colorado down there in Boulder, 31-7. Washington State improves to 9-1 with the win, 6-1 in Pac-12 play. The Huskies, of course, didn't play. They had a bye last week. Antone Custer, Sam McPherson, and Tamarack Pierce each ran for 2 touchdowns. Eastern Washington rolled an easy victory there, 59-20 over UC Davis in Big Sky play. And Central Washington lost 35-28. They had a 35-28 lead in the fourth quarter, and then 2 long touchdown passes in the final 6 minutes and 11 seconds was the difference. Wildcats lost in Ellensburg. That does not happen very often, 42-35. This despite Cedric Cooper's rushing for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. Riley Hennessy throwing for 315 yards and a couple of scores. Prep action. Congratulations to the Wenatchee Panthers swimming and diving team. Haley Payne finished 4th in the 100 butterfly. The Panthers took 4th on the podium as a team at the State Swimming and Diving Championships over the weekend at the King County Aquatic Center. By the way, that's the 6th consecutive year that Wenatchee High School has finished in the top 4 in girls swimming and diving state championships. The Chelan volleyball team, they took 7th place In the state 1A volleyball tournament at the Sun Dome in Yakima, the Goats lost their first game and they won the rest of their games. Again, they finished 7th. And the magical ride for the Eastmont football team came to an end in the first round of the state 4A playoffs. On Friday, Puyallup ran all over the Wildcats. The final was 45-10. The Vikings' Kyle Kramer rushing for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns. Puyallup advances to the quarterfinals. They'll take out Mount Si. Mount Si defeated Mount Vernon 39-38. Eastmont had prepared all week for the Puyallup passing attack. They were getting ready to get passed at, but it was the ground game, really, that proved the killer. Matthew Bissett had the call on the National Federation of High Schools Network, as seen Friday night right here on the NCW Life channel.
Here's the give to Massey. Massey on the sweeper on the left side. He breaks through the line of scrimmage. He's going to go. No, he's tackled inside the 5, down at the 1, but there is a flag on the play. To the left, Kramer behind Holcomb. Holcomb rolls out, then throws a pass down the field to Morrison, who goes up and snatches it out of the air. He's got to be one of the best receivers in the state. The kick is up and good. This might be 4-down territory for the Wildcats. Let's see what Coach Don decides to do. They fake the give up the middle. Here's Massey on an end around. Steps through a tackle inside the 20. He has first down yardage at the 16. A 27-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. Boy, Caitlin Massey. Talk about your Swiss Army knife. The young man could do it all. He starts the year at quarterback. He wins league MVP as a running back and wide receiver. He's got a leg like that. Oh, by the way, he plays some defense too. Holcomb takes a snap. Another give to Kramer. Kramer through the line, up into the secondary, into the end zone. Touchdown, Puyallup. Carter Pierce, low line drive kickoff down the middle. It's bobbled at the 10 and then picked up and returned up the gut. It's a nice return for Eastmont out to the, across the 40. The ball's on the ground. The ball's loose and Puyallup has it. Holcomb takes the snap. Here's the give to who else but Kramer. Kramer up the gut, untouched, into the end zone from 32 yards out. Touchdown Puyallup. 2nd down and 1. Give it to Kramer. Kramer cuts back to the left, and he's into the end zone untouched for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. That's the hat trick for Kyle Kramer, including this playoff appearance this year. Here's the give to Kramer off the left side for number 8, having his jersey. I only remember 1 carry for Welton. It was early on. Talley's going to throw it. Talley puts it up looking for Massey, and a one-handed interception on the near side. That's some Odell Beckham stuff, but by a defensive player, Angel Sanchez. Holcomb fakes, he's going to keep it. Holcomb gets to the right side, he cuts back, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Puyallup. Old Vikings defense, the Minnesota Vikings defense, the Purple People Eaters. That's what the Puyallup team has looked like tonight. And there's a throw and a touchdown grab. That's number 8 with the touchdown, his 5th touchdown of the year. That's Tanner Nelson. But what a season for Coach Don and this Eastmont team, finishing up 9-2 in a state tournament appearance. The final is 45-10. Puyallup.
And another state playoff action on Saturday in the 2B tournament. Napavine ended Brewster's season. The final was 57-20. How about some good news? How about the Wenatchee Wild? They swept their 2-game series over the weekend. That means for Coach Bliss Littler, career victory number 800 happened in the process. Wenatchee put aside the Surrey Eagles Friday night. The final there was 5-2. Then they shut down Coquitlam Saturday 6-1. Our checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
He's gone on a breakaway. Jake Tour is in. He shoots and he scores. Up high for Sasaki. Shot partially deflected. Goes off the glass. Loose puck, it's in! Boy, the shot went off the back glass. Came up to the side of the post, and Bailey was reaching over to try to get it. But Fletcher got a stick on it. Dorsey's stick handle's there. Walks out in front, loose puck, shot, score! Murphy Stratton and the Wild lead it 2-1. Pass ahead, broken up, Wild back into the zone. Fillion curls to his left. He's in, threads it through, shot and a score! Brian Adams with the redirection. Then Gray shovels it over. One-timer shot and a score. Matt Barnes unloads the one-timer. The pass came from the left point. Arnold was there for a moment, then breaks it up. And there's Barger, and he's got an empty net to shoot at, and he scores. Barnes swings it over to Siobhan. His crossing pass broken up by Arnold, and he sends it off the post. Believe it or not, from 150 feet. Barger into the empty net, though. His second empty netter of the night. That'll be a shorthanded goal with 0.4 seconds left on the clock. The length of the ice, chased down by the Wild, in shot, score! Josh Arnold chased it down to the near side, Sasaki. He works his way down low, midpoint looks, shot, save, rebound, score! Matt Gaszewski got the rebound as the Wild crushed in from the right point. Edgerton flutters it across and it gets stolen away. There's a Wild, Dorsey shoots and he scores! Oh, what a shot by Matt Dorsey. Rattles into the corner, stick handling it there is Arnold. From his knees in front, shot, score! Blake Barger, and what a play by Josh Arnold. Stick handling from his knees to set it up. The point, Robillard drifts midpoint, shot, score! Robillard took the shot. DePaulo may have got the redirection in front. Sacrifice in the body, as they say, now up high. Cook, shot, he scores! Brandon Cook, a dart from the midpoint. Get a goal on Military Appreciation Night. Puck poke checked away, shot, score! Josh Arnold. Well, the Express just gave that one away.
Good weekend for the Wild. By the way, they're on the road this week. They take on Merritt Wednesday. There'll be a Trail Friday and then Salmon Arm on Saturday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Monday morning, patchy fog still hasn't burned off. If anything, it looks like it's gotten a little bit thicker, but the fog should be burning off late morning, early this afternoon. We'll see some sunshine later on today, highs in the upper 30s. Let's do the obscure holiday of the day today. Today is November 12th. It is Happy Hour Day today. There you go. Happy Hour, of course, is that time period during the day, usually late in the afternoon, early in the evening, when establishments sell food and drinks at a discount, traditionally, of course, offered by bars and restaurants. Restaurants also, of course, usually offer appetizers at happy hour prices. There's a lot of places in this country that ban happy hours. You can't do happy hours. Boston amongst them, because they had some issues with happy hours back in the 70s and 80s. They simply banned them. So go out and enjoy a little happy hour with your friends or your coworkers. Get some beverages, get a good deal, and if you don't drink, that's fine too. You can still enjoy happy hour. A lot of restaurants still offer happy hour. Coffee shops and things like that will have stuff at a reduced price. By the way, the term happy hour is thought began as a military event. It is believed that the term happy hour comes from events organized by a club called the Happy Hour Social Club of the United States Navy back in 1913. Anchors away indeed. And that's the obscure holiday at 33 minutes after the hour. Let's do today in history. Baseball had to do something. The Black Sox scandal. Baseball was in trouble. They decided we need to have a dictator. We need to have a commissioner who just runs the game. And 98 years ago today, November 12th, 1920, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis unanimously elected by Major League Baseball's owners to become the first commissioner of baseball. He signed a 7-year contract. Of course, this is all in direct response to the Black Sox scandal. He said, I'll do it on one condition. I am the sole commissioner and I have the final authority over everything. Players and owners. The owners said yes. They probably should have thought twice about that. Kennesaw Mountain Landis was exactly what baseball needed at the time. Eventually, of course, he almost single-handedly prevented integration until his death could have made that happen. Kennesaw Mountain Landis got the big job 98 years ago today. November 12, 1928, women and children last. Yeah, it happens. You know, the English ocean liner, the SS Vestris, sinks approximately 200 miles off Hampton Roads, Virginia. 110 passengers eventually died, most of them women and children, because the crew left the vessel. As soon as they realized this sucker was going to flounder and go right down, the crew just abandoned the ship. The captain didn't. The captain stayed with it, went down with the ship, lost his life. Women and children last It's happened. It happened on this date 90 years ago today. November 12, 1954, 64 years ago today, with almost no real notice. It conversed very quietly. Ellis Island ceased operations 62 years and 20 million immigrants later, having passed through the gates of Ellis Island from late 1980s to 1890s. 62 years Ellis Island was in operation. They ceased operations and they quit processing immigrants on this date 64 years ago today. And today is the 17th anniversary of the last time the three living former Beatles were together. November 12th, 2001, 17 years ago today. John Lennon, no longer with us, but Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison met for the last time at George Harrison's hotel in New York City. They had lunch and they reminisced. George Harrison had already been diagnosed with terminal cancer. He would die 2 weeks later at a friend's house in Los Angeles. Ringo, Paul, and George together for the last time 17 years ago today. And finally, birthdays. Speaking of rock and roll, Booker T. Jones, there he is. Booker T. Jones, leader of Booker T and the MGs, one of the great rockers and rollers of all time, was the backup band for all the great Stax hits back in the 1960s with Sam and Dave and Otis Redding and everybody in between. Booker T. Jones started out as a saxophone player, ended up playing the organ. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he's 74 years old today. Also 74 is Al Michaels, longtime football voice for a long time. He was with ABC Sports. Of course, he was, for 20 years, he called Monday Night Football on ABC. For the last decade, he's called Sunday Night Football on NBC. He called the famous Miracle on Ice hockey game back in 1980, Game 3 of the 1989 World Series with the famous earthquake. He's been around for a long time, and he's really good at what he does. Al Michaels, 74 years old today. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Young still has his Canadian citizenship. He's never turned that away, although he's lived in California since the late 1960s. The legendary Neil Young, one of the great songwriters of his generation, two-time inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Buffalo Springfield in 1997 and by himself in 1995. Neil Young is 73 years old today. Nadia Comaneci, here's a name from the past. She's 57 years old today. Of course, the first gymnast to be awarded a perfect 10 in Olympic competition, and she did it 7 times in the Montreal Games back in 1976. She won 3 gold medals, became a household word. Nadia Comaneci, who's been married to Bart Karner and has been living in the United States since the 1980s. She's 57 years old today. And Anne Hathaway, the American actress, one of the highest paid actresses in the world. In fact, her films have grossed $6.4 billion worldwide. She has an Academy Award on her shelf, a Golden Globe, and an Emmy. Anne Hathaway, very talented, is 36 years old today. If you know somebody who's celebrating a birthday, a local celebrity, give them to me. I'll do my very best to get it on the air. All you got to do is go to our Facebook page, and private message us. I'll do my very best to get your local celebrities on this very television station. 38 minutes after there, we're going to take a break. When we come back, everybody is entitled to Mike McNarty's opinion. And then we have a montage of yesterday's solemn events at Memorial Park for Veterans Day 2018. Our cameras were there yesterday, and we have about a 6.5-minute montage for you to enjoy when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Pybus Public Market is hosting their annual Holiday Artisan Fair in the main concourse and the LocalTel Event Center this Saturday from 9 to 4. There will be over 40 artisans with handmade crafts and gifts, a photo booth, giveaways, and more. Kashmir Community Concerts presents Whiskey Deaf on Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. It's happening at the Kashmir Riverside Center. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
back the clocks and grab the ice melt. Winter weather is here. This is Corey at Rose Tractor. If you're looking for a reliable way to clear snow, look no further than Cub Cadet. For sidewalks and driveways, a Cub Cadet snow thrower will get the job done in a jiffy. For larger jobs, a Cub Cadet Challenger utility vehicle with a snow blade will handle about anything. You can depend on Cub Cadet for years of reliable performance, and we'll help you select the best model for your job at Rose Tractor, family-run business at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Doug Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Okay, this gun thing I've been talking about. Those opposed to private gun ownership and extra capacity magazines often say things like, no one needs 30 rounds, etc., that kind of stuff. Now, even supposedly weapons knowledgeable folks will sometimes say stuff like that. Well, however, you know, if you're using a firearm properly, you're using it to protect you or someone else's life in a potentially lethal scenario. And in that case, I want as many rounds as possible. I think the Glock I carried on duty when I was a cop held 10 rounds, and I had 2 backup magazines in my belt, and I had more ammunition in my duty bag. Frankly, in a scenario like that, I think 30 rounds to start sounds about right. But hey, what do I know? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Did you know that our pets can put on extra weight just like us? Obesity is the most common preventable disease in dogs and cats. Your pet's excess weight can lead to health issues like joint pain, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Dr. Shauna Baez and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital care about your pets, and they can help you keep them lean and healthy. Call Paws and Claws today at 888-PAWS or find them on the corner of 4th and Isle in East Wenatchee.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Monday, November 12th, 2018. I am Dan Kuntz. A friendly reminder, today is Veterans Day observed, which means governmental offices will be closed. You won't have any mail. Banks will be closed. Schools will be closed. Yesterday proper, of course, was Veterans Day, and courtesy of the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and serving vets of North Central Washington, once again, there was a ceremony and a parade in downtown Wenatchee. Our own Megan McPherson was there with her camera, and here's a montage.
I want you to know that Chelan County employs 540 full-time, part-time, and seasonal employees, and this includes 81 veterans, which is 15% of their overall workforce. I think that deserves a round of applause. This demonstrates how strong Chelan County's commitment is to veterans. Cammie Rosser, who is the head of the HR department, stated that out of the 18 employees recently hired, 8 are veterans that have been hired since August 1st, 2017 to July 31st, 2018, which accounts for 44% of the current new veteran hires. This employer stood out from other counties as it was one of the pioneer counties to adopt the veteran service model to WDA8, and in collaboration with the WDVA to provide veteran services such as emergency relief and veterans claim support, as well as being an integral part of the community to advocate on behalf of veterans. Tony Sandoval, the Chelan County Veteran Service Officer, assists veterans throughout Chelan County relief funds for housing, food, gas, utilities, and repairs so they can become or stay employed. Since January 2017 to current, $37,000 has been used to assess these veterans. So it is my honor right now to give this plaque that says Chelan County, Wenatchee, Washington, Hire a Veteran Award 2018 to Commissioner Kevin Overby and Tony Sandoval.
It is my honor to receive this on behalf of Chelan County, and as a veteran myself, I'm very pleased that we were able to offer these opportunities to our veterans as they come back and they want to enter the workforce. So thank you very much. We appreciate this.
Once again, thanks to Megan McPherson for taking time off on her Sunday to go out and get that footage for us here on the NCW Life channel. It's 52 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take one more brief recap of your Monday morning headlines. We'll take one more look at your weather forecast and your past report as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Monday edition on the NCW Life channel.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and the floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi everyone, Brent here at Town Nissan. Will you look at this 2016 Nissan Altima, or this 2016 Nissan, or better yet, how about a 2014 Nissan Sentra? All three with very low miles, and all three certified through Nissan with up to a 100,000-mile warranty at no cost to you, where you could save thousands by buying a pre-owned Nissan. Come down today, see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got about 5.5 minutes left in this program, and even though Election Day was over 6 days away, we still don't have a winner in the race for Chelan County Commissioner to replace Keith Gaynor, who's moving on to the state legislature. But there is a new development. Bob Boogert took the lead. After the latest count in the race for Chelan County Commissioner, he pulled ahead of opponent Sean Smith by 160 votes after the second release of results on Friday afternoon. Boogert, who did not designate a party, has 13,525 votes. Sean Smith is a Republican. He got 13,365 votes so far. Percentage, it breaks down to 50.3% for Boogert, 49.7% for Smith. The race remains, of course, too close to call. According to Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore, there are 4,605 votes left to count. The results of that count will be released on Wednesday. Smith had led by 314 votes after Tuesday's election night count. Bob Boogert is the former executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Smith is the owner of the Walkabout Grill restaurants in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. By the way, none of the other races in either Chelan or Douglas County were close enough on Friday, Friday's latest count, to really make much of a difference there. So we'll all keep an eye out for late in the day on Wednesday, and that should be the last batch of uncounted ballots. It has to be less than 0.5%, by the way, for an automatic recount there. 56 minutes after the hour. Let's take a look at your weather forecast. As you can see right now, that's a shot from Jump Off Ridge. It is starting to burn off. The fog and the clouds are starting to burn off just about the same time as it did yesterday. But boy, was it chilly yesterday, wasn't it? Just 32. That's all we got to on Veterans Day with an overnight low of 25. It was a raw, cold day, and we're going to do it again today, just a little bit warmer. We will have some fog and some clouds. It should burn off about 11 a.m. or so this morning, and then we'll have some partly sunny skies this afternoon. Forecast high of 39 degrees. Patchy fog reforms tonight, gets right down on the valley floor. Overnight low of about 31. Tomorrow morning we do it again. The only difference is the fog should be burning off earlier in the day. Around 9:30 or 10 is when the fog will begin to dissipate and the sun will be able to burn it off. Outside of that, Tuesday, partly sunny, warmer still. High of 47 degrees. Clouds are back for an encore appearance on Tuesday night. 32 for the overnight low. Wednesday, things change rather dramatically with lots of clouds, no sun, but a high of 53. So we're going to go from well below normal to well above normal in a very short period of time. Light and variable wind. No real precipitation in the forecast Wednesday, although we will see some clouds. Could see some light rain on Wednesday. I wouldn't bet on it. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, 36 for the overnight low. Then we go through a nice period of sunshine. It starts Thursday, lots of sunshine, high of about 51. Mostly sunny Friday, about 49. Overnight lows will be in the mid-30s throughout this period. Mostly sunny Saturday and a high near 44, and partly sunny Sunday and a high near 47 degrees. The sun is just starting to get the job done, so the temperatures really haven't moved around a great deal. Outside of our studios, it is 27 degrees. Again, as you can see, the clouds are beginning to burn off a little bit. Fred is at 23 degrees, Moses Lake 21. Good morning, Kashmir, you're at 28 degrees. Also at 28 degrees is Dryden. Chelan is at 28, and Manson's at 28. So the temperatures are very steady, really not going too far. Let's take a look at your passes here. A lot of people on the road on this Monday. It is an observed holiday for a lot of people. Right now, there are no problems at all. I-90 looks just fine. The roadway is bare and dry. No advisories, no restrictions at all on I-90. Stevens Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare on US 2 Stevens. Some patches of frost and ice in places here and there, and that's really about it. Blue Pass is fine. Again, kind of like Stevens and Snoqualmie. Roadway is bare and dry. Some frost and ice in places. Clear skies. No real problems at all in the mountain passes. Quick heads up, though, for you folks traveling I-90 tomorrow. According to the DOT, westbound I-90 is going to be closed at exit 84 from 8 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. They're going to remove some trees that are a little too close to the highway, so you're going to be detoured there. So if you plan on traveling westbound on I-90 tomorrow, they're going to take you off the highway at exit 85 and take you back on after a slight delay. So you need to plan for some added travel time. Again, this is westbound at milepost 84 tomorrow on I-90. Speaking of tomorrow, my guest tomorrow is my good friend Jerry Anderson. They're bringing back the all-school tailgate party. They do it every time this year in mid to late November, centered around the Apple Cup. And it's a chance for all you Huskies and Cougars to get together and trade jokes and have a good time and enjoy the camaraderie and the rivalry that is the Apple Cup, which this year, of course, will be the Friday after Thanksgiving in beautiful Pullman, Washington. Jerry Anderson will be in to talk about that. We're also endeavoring to get Paul Atwood on the program. Paul will be directing, once again, the high school choral department's musical, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. All that and more. It's going to be a busy, busy week right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.